Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. I'm Chris Holt, and today we're going to be working on my engine. This is going to be part 4 of the series. In previous parts, I've gotten the engine from the shipper, kind of cleaned it, tore it down, took off the intake manifold and the turbo of that motor, and put my old motor intake manifold and turbo because they were in better condition. And then got it nice and cleaned up, and then put it into the car. I still need to get the transmission to engine fully engaged with each other, and then I have to plumb up some of the hoses and stuff like that and fully complete the wiring harness and get that worked, then pour in some fluids and get it started. So hopefully, since today's early Monday morning, hopefully I can get some stuff going and see how far I can get before my upload on Wednesday. So hopefully I'll have 2 days in order to get some progress on that, and so yeah, that's what we're going to be trying to do this video, and stay tuned for it. So now we're out in the garage. We still got it on the hoist right there on our lift. Power steering pump is out, same with the AC, and we're just going to try and work on getting the transmission and engine lined up right there. So there's the 2 studs on the bottom, and then we have to line it up at the top in order to put more studs back in there so that they can mate up nicely. So it took us a while to wrestle the engine in there, but we finally did. We're completely off of our engine hoist and we're attached to the transmission, as you can see right up in there. So the thing that was very difficult about this is we couldn't get everything lined up perfectly. So we got the bottom studs into the transmission a little bit. Then we got the top ones, they're going to be right there. Kind of hard to see, but we got 4 of them in, and then just kind of started tightening them down as much as we could. We got the bolts on the bottom, got them as tight as possible, and just kind of worked our way in, as well as took the pulley here and put the ratchet to turn the motor so it could engage with the transmission. Finally got that to engage in the clutch. And so now we have to finish putting on the rest of the transmission bolts and get it on the motor mounts, which we have the bottom 2 on but not bolted in. And then we just gotta kind of keep doing little stuff and keep making progress. So we've been working for a little bit, finally got the power steering in right there. We're working on the AC compressor. We don't have it in or whatever yet. We're just kind of mocking it up right here. Same with the alternator, we're just mocking it up to see how everything's gonna fit. Working on like the throttle cable right here and the cruise control cable, and just kind of starting to button things up and get things back to the way they should be. So guys, like I've said in the past, this is my first time really doing this, and so we're running into issues. Right now, the clutch fork is not engaging with the throwout bearing. So basically what the throwout bearing is, it goes around the input shaft and has 2 wings on the side, and the clutch fork goes down, and we have to catch the kind of wings on the throwout bearing, and we're not getting there right now. And the small hole that they give, you can't really see or spin the pressure or the throwout bearing to get the clutch fork in. So we're trying to debate how to do it. We might have to pull the engine again, which would be kind of annoying, but that's one of those things we gotta just get done and get it done right. Alright guys, so this is the front of the engine right here. Coming to the driver's side right here, and then coming right here, whoa, right there is the clutch fork, or clutch fork, and it just has a bunch of play, and it's trying to line up with the throwout bearing, but I can't seem to line it up. And I obviously didn't do any research before this, and a lot of people just end up doing it with the transmission and engine off. Well, for me, it came kind of on my flywheel, but it's not really held in there super tight, even though it should be, I guess. And so it was held on there, and I didn't think to take it off of the engine and put it on the transmission and do the clutch fork and pin in there first, when that's one of the more important things to do first. And I waited and ended up doing it now, and it's either going to be super difficult or I'm going to need to backtrack a lot. Alright, so guys, I've really been trying hard to get this done, and it's not going as fast as I would like, or as we'd all like. So if you could leave in the comments down below if you want my next video to be of the engine, or do maybe a video in between of not doing the engine, because I know I'm gonna try and get like a small camera to feed into that hole to see if when I put the clutch fork in and try and move that, if I'm moving the throwout bearing or not. Because if I'm not moving the throwout bearing, I need to take the engine back out again in order to get that attached to the clutch fork and then put in correctly before putting it and then plumbing everything back. With kind of the rate I'm going and the struggles that I am having, I probably won't have the engine in like fully ready and done the first startup by Friday, which would be my next video. So leave in the comments below if you want me to do another, you know, maybe top 5, top 10 video, or some not car mod but more talk videos. Because hopefully, I mean, I'm spending all my time to get this, and I really want to make entertaining videos for you guys, but I feel like the last video and this one, I haven't necessarily gotten a lot of work done. Even though I've been spending a bunch of time, I haven't really been getting a lot done, even though I would really like to. So let me know what you guys think there. And like I say, this is one of like the first times that I'm doing it. I'm very much an amateur, just trying to walk you guys through what I'm doing and my mistakes, so that if you guys have this task in your Subaru WRX, or you know, any car I guess like that, you think before you do, you can watch and semi get some knowledge off of my mistakes that I've been doing, and I'm trying to document that as most as I can to you guys. So thanks for sticking with me and through all this hard times, and I really appreciate it, guys. So right here is the two halves of the blocks. That's one of the heads, and that's the other head of the engine that blew on there. So the way that it works is, this is the crankshaft, which the pistons right here do sit on. And so in between here, which sits on these seats right here of the crank, which is in between the block, has these, which are called bearings, rod bearings. So those bearings, there's 2 for each of these, and they sit in between the crankshaft and the bottom rod of the piston. So let's see if I can. So I apologize that it's a bit dusty, but that one right there is good. You can see there's not much scoring on that. That one's pretty okay, but you can start to see the lines, which is the scoring. And then that one, you can see there's pretty heavy scoring. And I think that's the one right there that blew, because you can tell that one's pretty okay. That one's got a bit more scoring. That one's pretty fine. And so all it takes is that little amount of scoring right there to stop my engine from turning over. So you could really tell that it was wrong, because it would just not make power. My first thing was it lost boost. And so you can check even in the cylinder walls here, it's not bad. You know, even changing the oil, there was just the slightest hint of gold dust, which were these bearings, these rod bearings right here. And so generally how it's supposed to do is inside here, see these holes right, that hole right there? Let's see. The hole is right there, yes. And that hole feeds oil to the bearings and the rods in order to lubricate that. And there was probably a buildup or something, and the oil, because I had enough oil, you know, it was full of oil, but didn't get to the rods or the bearings here, and that seized onto the crank right there, making that little tiny bit of scoring, and that blew up my motor. So it's something that's kind of undoable, and it would, if I were to rebuild the motor or build it, you'd get forged connecting rods right here, race bearings, which are probably just thicker, and then forged, made for more boost. So actually on the EJs, you want to get the stock crankshaft right here, and I get the block sleeved. So that means taking this and kind of thinning that out so it can be bigger, and possibly running bigger piston heads, and that would be a stroked motor. Then you'd get the heads right here. You'd get them machined as well, and that's what you would do in order to build your motor. Now it doesn't sound like a big deal, but doing just the block is $2,000, and doing the heads were an additional $1,000 on top of the parts, which the crank right here, just stock, was $600, and that's kind of the way you go. And then you're probably about $400 in connecting rods, pistons, and race bearings. So all in all, it would be about $4,000, which was right about double what I spent to fix the car. Even though it's taking quite a while to get the motor in, I'm just running into little issues as I'm going. I'm just trying to figure it out step by step. So guys, thanks for watching, thanks for making it this far, and if you did, remember to go in the comments and let me know what you want for the next video. But if you liked this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so stay tuned for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.